Hey everyone, welcome back to MVH. Now, I am not going to be in this video as I couldn't make it for the screener for Wish. So like the last time for the Little Mermaid, our good friend Jay is here to fill in as a host here on MVH to give her review for Wish. She went out and saw the film and has some thoughts to say. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. And yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next one very soon.
Hi, my name is Jay. You might have seen me from the last Disney movie review I did, which was Little Mermaid, which I adored. But today I'm here to talk about Wish. As you can see by my lovely popcorn bucket in the background. So Wish. I was really nervous to see the movie, mostly because it is Disney's, 100-year anniversary celebration movie. And I know a lot of people were anticipating something really big. So I think my main concern was it living up to its name. So let's start with a couple of pros.
I am talking. Who knew my voice would be this low?
So I know a lot of people have a bunch of varying opinions on Wish, and I don't want to make it all about the negatives, which I feel like is pretty popular, especially now on like social media. However, if you hear scratching in the background, it's my cat. Minty, look at her. Isn't she so cute? She's just a little baby.
Huh?
So personally, I really enjoyed the color palette of the entire movie. I felt like it was really on brand. I know Disney 100 is trying to go for this like platinum, iridescent, like very like magical feeling kind of color palette, and I think that this movie did it really well. I also feel like they had a really good take on their background imagery. I think the background imagery was one of the strongest things in this movie. Personally, I felt like a lot of the world building, like the structural assets that we see in the background, like the castle, are super strong. I think that it worked really well for the movie and for the whole like 100th celebration kind of vibe. I at first was a little, disappointed because I felt like the characters were really lackluster, like the background characters, mostly because I feel like we've gotten so used to a lot of background characters having so much personality and wondering about what their story might be or how they're related to the plot. And I think Disney's kind of spoiled us in that way where we can look at any character and kind of see like their own story, even if they're not a major character. Now, with these background characters, I felt like we kind of see these backgrounds and the background characters aren't very present, and I think that that's okay because it's almost giving like a Sleeping Beauty kind of vibe where they're just supposed to be pretty in the background. I know Sleeping Beauty was like a huge reminder. No, not reminder. I would say that the background imagery, especially like the greenery and the forest, is very reminiscent of Sleeping Beauty and Alice in Wonderland, especially with like the talking animals. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not.
Who knew my voice would be this low?
But yeah, it's just very like whimsical feeling, very like safe and warm, I would say. Definitely like the landscape around the main character's house is very warm and inviting, much like Sleeping Beauty's like cottage in the woods where, she has to hide away. It feels like that. It feels like that classic welcoming like Bambi Disney forest where it's like all magical creatures and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that they did the landscaping and the background art really nicely. I really like the way that the movie kind of opens itself up to the viewer as like a storybook. I really appreciate that because, that is pretty much what most of the early Disney movies were like. They opened up as a storybook, once upon a time, this and that. And they kind of did that again with Wish, and I thought that was really nice. To go on this whole storybook kind of vibe, they definitely had the background art resemble like classic storybook paintings, and I thought that was really tastefully done. However, for the characters, personally, I don't think that it worked well at all. It, to me, kind of looked like they just had a filter on an unfinished 3D model, which is like, that feels like a hot take, but that's just how it felt. It felt like kind of like when you have those filters on like a photo editing app and it's like cartoonify, like that's exactly how it felt for the characters. Like completely different vibe from the backgrounds. Like it just felt like they worked on like all the background assets and just like did not focus on the characters and making the characters look like a storybook character. I was really excited about Asha, the main character, because this concept is so new, and I was really excited to see what type of person Disney would make out of this concept of wishing, because she doesn't follow a traditional storyline like a lot of the other Disney characters or Disney princesses or Disney heroines, where they're usually based off of a pre-existing tale. But with Wish, Disney just kind of, did their own thing. It is a Disney movie, which I really liked. I love Asha's design. I love her braids. I loved her outfit. I loved her whole like sense of justice and purpose. However, I am kind of tired of the same Disney face. It's like we see it with Anna and Elsa. We see it with Moana. We see it with Rapunzel. It's the same like cartoony face, and I'm kind of tired of it. I wished they would have given our main character a more, a different look. That's kind of like what I miss, especially with like the Disney Renaissance area. Mulan looked so different. Pocahontas looked so different. Jasmine looked so different. I wanted more of that. And I think we were sort of achieving that with Moana. But still, it's like this like small face, button nose, wide eye kind of look. And it's like not everyone looks like that. Like, yeah, it works for a lot of characters. I definitely think it works for like Anna and Rapunzel. But in this case, I feel like they should have maybe not gone so safe with Asha's character design and like facial features. I feel like they actually did a really good job in that aspect with the side characters, Asha's friends that she works with in town. They're super diverse. They all look so different, and I thought that was really cool. I loved how diverse they all were. There was like, a girl who had a cane and, a boy who was like super big and sleepy, and, it was really cool. My favorite part of the movie, or I guess I wouldn't say part, but my favorite aspect of the movie was the star. Like he's like, look at how cute he is. Like, oh my god, so cute. He was just like, honestly, like carried the movie in my opinion. Very like funny without having to use words, very expressive, and I feel like that's what Disney's all about, is about like expressing yourself in like cartoons expressing themselves in a way that you get, that isn't necessarily how you can do it, if that makes sense. It was just like so much character in such a little character. Like it's like huge personality in a small character, and I think it was just like so beautiful just to see like the star in the movie. Obviously he plays a really big part. The entire theme is about wishing, so of course we have a star for the main character as well, alongside Asha, and he was just super expressive. I loved all of his emotes and the way his character would play with the surroundings and all of the other characters. I just thought he was like the most precious thing ever. Unlike a lot of mascots, which I feel like Disney likes to make them, they either like abandon them, kind of like Pua from Moana, or they like really drive them home with this like attitude, or like stupid, like hey, or Rapunzel's chameleon. I don't remember what his name. Pascal, Pascal's sassy, Hey's, dumb. But they really didn't do that with the star. He kind of encompassed a lot of other mascots in a way that I think is really new and a good take on it. Now let's talk about the main, what's his name? Magnifico? I think his name is Magnifico. Let's talk about King Magnifico. I think that's his name.
I decide what everyone deserves.
Ah, shit.
Had it go again.
At the very beginning, I was like, oh, so cool, this king is a sorcerer and, he knows magic and he's establishes this country where everyone can be themselves, and that's like such a beautiful thing. But then we kind of learn more about this character. And I feel like we begin to learn about the character and the character's backstory, but we never fully dive deep into, why this character is what he is and why he does what he does. I feel like it was just very surface level, and, he kind of becomes like a Disney character with no real depth. So you can't really empathize or relate or even really like enjoy his character because you just lack this sense of understanding of like why he is. It's just kind of like a passing by comment, which really you could miss if you weren't paying attention and you just think that he is the way he is, not for any other reason. I loved his character design, but yeah, I just felt like he lacked real depth, and it was a lot of showiness, of course, because he's, performing, but yeah, I felt like I couldn't really get behind it, I feel like a lot of villains have like a reason or a motivation, and you can understand, why they are the way they are. And we kind of just like brushed off of that at the very beginning. And I feel like there was a lot of room to explore that and explore the backstory of why he is. I know a lot of people were nervous about the music, but I actually really enjoyed the music. Personally, I don't have a lot of, I guess musical knowledge. I just kind of enjoy music, but I liked it. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was cringy at all. I know a lot of people didn't like it. They felt like it was kind of giving like Hamilton vibes with like the pacing, and I didn't really get that. I thought it was like really a unique way to have like a main character song or like a villain song without it sounding like a classical princess Disney song. I thought they were really well done. I enjoyed them. I felt like there was a big opportunity to play on morality. In the movie, Magnifico grants wishes to the people, but he hand selects the wishes that he gets to grant. And I feel like there was a big lesson on morality that Disney kind of missed because, not every person's wish could be a good one, So I understand it is a Disney movie, and yes, like the main consumer group are children, but I feel like that would have been a really good topic to kind of, dip their toe in, see how that works. But also I felt like it was pretty brushed off. In terms of the pacing of the movie, I thought it was really well paced. However, I did feel like I enjoyed it for sure, but I didn't feel entirely drawn into it as I have with other Disney movies or even Disney Pixar movies. With Up, it's, it tugs at your heartstring. Pixar movies are so full of emotion. And even like the princess stories, Mulan's story, it's very courageous. It's about saving her family. It's about proving herself. Moana, it's also about being heartstrong, saving her family, doing what's best for the good of the world, I guess. But with Asha's story, it just feels like she's just there for the ride, I guess. She does solve the big conflict, but I never felt particularly attached or where I felt like I was like, wow, that was great, I just kind of like sat through the movie and enjoyed it the whole time. It wasn't like bad, but it's definitely not something I would, say would be a cult classic. Yeah, I guess I don't want to say lackluster because it was full of luster. I mean, it was so pretty and iridescent, but yeah, I didn't feel myself feeling in any particular way other than like upset at the villain. In terms of the storyline, I felt like once it was resolved at the end, there wasn't really anything else to care about, it was just kind of like, okay, we're done, we saved everything and everything's all great now, we've defeated the villain. But I feel like there was so much more room to do other things too. Like, what about the queen? What about Asha? Now that there's no more threat and everyone has their wish back. Like, what happens with that? So I feel like they definitely could have done something more with the end. Even though I did feel like it was a well-paced movie, I feel like the ending was not as, I guess, interesting as the rest of the movie. One thing that I really did not like about the movie was kind of like the mannerisms of the characters. I'm gonna be honest, it was giving like those TikTok cringy, like My Hero acting like skits or whatever. It was just like it was not it. There were a couple of times where Asha would be talking and she would just be like really awkward and clumsy, but like not in a genuine way. Almost it felt very fake, and I was definitely cringing in my seat. Like, this feels weird. Like, it just didn't feel good. Like, you know, we have our clumsy characters, you know, we have Anna, she's clumsy. We have Moana, she can be clumsy, but it just like was never like that. And it was giving like, you know, a TikTok skit, you know, like that's so cringy. Oh my God, I'm cringing at myself. Overall, I think I would give the movie 5 cute popcorn bucket stars out of 10, mostly because I felt like there was a lot they could have done that they played it safe with. And I guess there were a lot of things that I was hoping to see, and there were a lot of high expectations, especially since this is the 100th anniversary movie, that they just, you know, it just felt like another entertaining Disney movie, which I feel like they could have done better. Other than that, it was a really beautiful movie. Loved the color palettes, loved the landscaping, liked the music. It was great. I liked it. I was enjoying it for sure. But would I rewatch it? Maybe. Would it be the first thing on my list to rewatch? I don't think so. But other than that, the star was really cute. If you're gonna watch it for the star, because he was the best part of it. There's still popcorn in it too. Oh my God, I haven't eaten all the popcorn yet. Oh, it smells so good. I can't open it. Want some? Oh my God, he's so freaking cute. I'm gonna have popcorn kernels stuck in my teeth for like 8 years. I shouldn't have done that. I don't even like popcorn that much. But other than that, thank you so much, Matt, for letting me see the movie in your place. I really did enjoy it. And yeah, that's just how I feel. Go see it for yourself. It was good. I liked it. It was okay.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe